Today, the original plan was to show you how much weight and space I'm saving with my new cook kit, which is this right here, which we'll get into shortly. And then I started thinking, how lightweight can I really take this? This is an alcohol stove cook kit. That's what I like to use. I do have an older video showing my old cook kit, which is right here, which I'll show you very briefly. Again, recap what's in the old kit. But the most recent weight that I've got on my scale with this old cook kit is 8.9 ounces. So what do we got here? We got the koozie, just a Reflectix koozie. There's plenty of directions online for how to make these things. This one has held up since I first made it. It's been going strong for probably 6 years since I made this. No problems with it. Works fine. Then the orange sleeve that comes with all the Tokes titanium pots, which is all that I have here is all Tokes titanium pots. This sleeve is 0.4 ounces. So before I even get rid of the sleeve, I want to show you the real quickly. I only use this mug for like coffee, hot chocolate. It's a Sea to Summit collapsible cup. So basically just that, and it nests right on top of here like that. That is 2.4 ounces right there, that cup. And this is the Toke 750 milliliter pot. The pot with the lid is 3.6 ounces. Get rid of the lid, and this pot empty is 3.0 ounces. Inside the pot, I keep this old bandana, which has seen better days, as you can see. I use the bandana for basically just as a pot grabber mostly, just to grab the pot like that. And for some reason, I always just like to dry out my pot after I'm done using it. I only boil water with my cook kit. Although I suppose I could just let it air dry, no big deal. This bandana, even with the holes, is 0.6 ounces. I guess I could be a gram weenie and cut this thing in half and save a little bit of weight. Next inside the pot is my mini Bic, which I keep in this little Ziploc bag just to keep it from getting wet. This lighter with the bag is 0.4 ounces. Next inside here is my cat food can. This is my stove. It is 0.2 ounces, and this thing works fine. There's directions for how to make these online also. And then lastly inside the pot is my Tokes titanium windscreen, which I cut down so it would fit the height that I needed it to. And I just keep it rolled up and it fits just inside the pot like that. This windscreen is 0.3 ounces. The size comparison between my old cook kit and my new cook kit, you can see how much height difference there is. They're basically the same diameter, but the height difference, if I did the geometry correct and figured everything correct here, I am saving a half a liter's worth of pack space, which is a lot considering that this year I'm trying to use my my Z-Packs Nero pack as much as I can. And that pack, the interior of that pack is 25 liters. The overall space for counting all the outside pockets is 38 liters. So I really want to save as much space as possible. There's not a whole ton of weight difference between these two cook kits. Completely, like I said, 8.9 ounces for the old one, 6.7 ounces for the new kit. So let's take a look and see what the new kit is involved here. Comes with the the orange sleeve. I had to make a new pot koozie for it. This one is 0.5 ounces, so I'm saving 0.3 ounces with the new pot koozie. I got the Tokes 550 milliliter ultralight pot. This thing is super ultralight. There are, I heard that the old version doesn't have the indented graduation marks, but there are on this version here has the marks on the inside as well. And they are pretty easy to see actually. If I didn't mention, this sleeve is the same weight as the old sleeve. I think it's a little shorter, but it's the same weight, 0.4 ounces. The new pot with the lid is 2.4 ounces. So I'm saving 1.2 ounces on the pot itself. I only boil water when I'm cooking. I don't cook any food in the pot, it's just boiling water. I never found that I need more than two cups of water, so this will fit 2 cups of water in this 550 pot. The Sea to Summit coffee mug, I'm replacing that this year with the Sea to Summit 375 mil coffee mug. This will hold as much coffee as I need. It holds as much as like a regular coffee mug you'd have in your kitchen. And this nests perfectly inside the 550 pot with the lid on. So if I didn't mention the 550 pot without the lid, that is 1.8 ounces. That right there without the lid weighs the same as this 375 pot, which doesn't have a lid, doesn't come with a lid. So same weight. This one's 550. This is 375. The elephant in the room with the alcohol stove is the fuel itself. This, I use the yellow heat, not the red heat. Just the yellow heat is the good stuff. This is an 8-ounce bottle, fuel bottle I got off of lightsmith.com. This empty bottle is 0.75 ounces. And I like the one with the flip top cap. Like I said, this being the elephant in the room, I could go with a solid fuel stove, which I have done. This is the Esbit solid fuel stove right here that I have. Folds open like that. This weighs 0.5 ounces as opposed to the 0.2 for the cat food can. So a little bit heavier here, but you do have a little bit of weight savings with the fuel, with the solid fuel tablets. The thing I don't like with these is they don't smell too bad right now, but once you open that package, you can smell it from a mile away. And it's horrible smelling. So I don't like using these unless I absolutely have to. Or I could just go cold soaking, 1.1 ounces for this empty peanut butter jar. But for the purposes of this video, we're talking hot food. Boiling 2 cups of water. And speaking of boiling 2 cups of water, I started thinking, how light can I actually make an alcohol cook kit that's practical for boiling 2 ounces of water? So here's what I come up with. We're going to get rid of the 375 coffee mug and just go with the 550 pot. We're going to keep the cat food can stove. That goes in there. Instead of a lighter, we're going to go with a pack of matches, which wasn't even registering a weight on my scale. That goes in there. Instead of a lid, we're going to use a piece of aluminum foil across the top. This didn't register any weight on my scale either, so that goes on top. And in the woods, we'll just lay a stick on top of there to keep everything held down. And I pack all this together. Instead of using a sleeve to keep everything together, I'm just going to take a rubber band, and hopefully that holds everything together like that. That entire cook kit right there, I can boil 2 cups of water, no problem. That weighs 2 ounces. Here's some of the drawbacks I don't like about this. I don't like using rubber band. I had one break on me, almost put my eye out, so I don't like using these rubber bands. Light AF makes a Dyneema stuff sack I could use instead of this thing. It weighs 0.1 ounces as opposed to the 0.4 ounces. That would be a possibility if I wanted to save 0.3 ounces. The only issue is that's 18 bucks, and I already have this, so I don't see me buying that anytime soon. I'm just not thrilled with using this piece of aluminum foil for the top. I'm just going to use the lid. It's 0.6 ounces. I could get a carbon fiber lid, which is 0.4 ounces. I haven't seen them available online recently, so we'll just stick with this lid, the lid that comes with this for now. Also notice I didn't have a windscreen with that setup that I was showing you. A lot of people use their sit pad and put that as around as a windscreen, or maybe use their pack. I just would not trust having this around the fire. I'm sure as soon as I turn my head, this thing would fall over onto the fire. Or if you set your pack next to it as a windscreen, I'm sure my pack would just fall onto the fire, and that would not be obviously very good. So I'm just going to stick with this windscreen. Of course, you can make one of these out of heavy-duty aluminum foil, or go to Dollar Tree and buy one of those cake pans or whatever for like $1.25, and just fashion something out of that. The Gossamer Gear has a thing on their website that looks pretty cool for 25 bucks. It might take the place of 2 different pieces of my equipment here. So the sleeve that holds everything together and the koozie can be replaced with one item, apparently, with this Gossamer Gear thing. It's a sleeve that is insulated. I got to keep an eye out on Gossamer Gear's website for that, or maybe search some other websites, see if another company makes the same thing. Another thing I forgot to mention is a lid. Now, I did make a lid pot koozie for my first kit. Just, you can see how big and bulky that lid is. I just quit carrying the lid after a while. It just made, I noticed no significant difference for how quickly food rehydrates with it. So yeah, I don't use it. I don't plan on making one for my new cook kit either. Haven't had a problem with rehydrating food without having a lid. Also, one thing I probably wouldn't use would be the matches. I'd be afraid that these would get wet. Plus, you're only getting, what, about 20 lights out of this. Yeah, that's assuming all the matches light. I'd rather go with the mini Bic, which, thousands of lights out of that thing. Also for that super ultralight cook kit, if I really wanted to, I could also get a 1 ounce fuel bottle that weighs 0.2 ounces, but I'm only going to get one boil out of that. So I'll just stick with this. If I'm on a shorter trip, I just won't have this filled up all the way. I'll just have it filled up maybe half of the way, a quarter of the way, whatever, for just a simple overnighter. So overall, to recap, we got the Tokes Ultralight 550 pot, the Tokes 375 ml coffee mug inside, the titanium windscreen, the cat food can stove, the mini Bic, and the old bandana, lid, orange sleeve for now, and pot koozie. There we go, 6.7 ounces. Like I said, I could do 2 ounces if I really, really was trying to save weight. I could even use the coffee mug, which is only 375 ml, to save just a little bit of space in my pack. That's my new cook kit I'll be using this year. I don't see anything changing unless I can find it. Like I said, if I can find that Gossamer Gear insulated sleeve, I'm going to pick that up, and that's the only thing I can see changing. This should, I haven't had it out yet, but this should get me through everything I need. If you have a practical alcohol cook kit that's lighter than 6.7, that kind of checks all the boxes for what I mentioned in this video, let me know some things I can change if I can lighten this up. I could go without the coffee mug, but every once in a while I like to have some coffee, so I'm going to keep it in there. It's no big deal. So yeah, that's what I'm taking on trail this year. That's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching.